season. Just about there now for the Trillian Trust. This is the third of the day over the 1800 metres, and Gary Phillips puts his foot down, and they're off and pacing now. And Mozart Lace and Scott Dixon took advantage of the number one alley and powered away from Chardon's Pearl, who's 3 out, with Real Tricky in the centre. Then up against the inside is Mia's Dream. Got a nice run through from the second line there, did Mia's Dream. Back on the inside is Roxanne and company now with Real Tricky. 4 back on the inside is Cinders and Ashes. About 1,500 metres to go, and getting back is Brooke Brad Carolina, and last of all is Millwood Roxy. So they work their way across that bend now on the Jackson Street side of the course. And the leader into the back straight is Mozart Lace. Kelly's Eye led the way from Mia's Dream running second. Back in third then on the fence is Roxanne. Chardon's Pearl as well spotted on the outside of Roxanne. They're followed then by on the fence Real Tricky and company now with Cinders and Ashes. They just swapped over there. Cinders and Ashes on the inside, and its outside is Real Tricky. Back and behind them is Brooke Brad Carolina, and Millwood Roxy is the last of the group. So they work their way down through the back straight now in the third of the day, the Trillian Trust. They've got 1,000 metres to go. Mozart Lace on top by a length and a quarter now to Mia's Dream and Keith Chittenden. Waiting third then was Roxanne and Chardon's Pearl, a midweek winner on the all-weather at Manawatu is fourth. Back on the inside then is Real Tricky, Cinders and Ashes racing together, 800 from home. On its own is Brooke Brad Carolina. And last of all is Millwood Roxy. Nikki Chilcott can spot the field by about 6 lengths as they come across that bend now. And the leader is still Mozart Lace. Pushing it though on the outside is Mia's Dream. Chardon's Pearl is just third now at the 1,600 metres, situated on the outside of Roxanne, who's been there on the rail throughout. Back on the inside is Cinders and Ashes. Alongside of that then is Real Tricky. Pacing on its own is Brooke Brad Carolina. And Millwood Roxy is last of all as they are about to commence the run from the turn into the straight. And taking over narrowly, though, is Mia's Dream from the pacemaking Mozart Lace. Roxanne's looking for space on the inside. Chardon's Pearl has got plenty of pacing room. Same can be said for Real Tricky. And Brooke Brad Carolina, and out deep is Millwood Roxy as they load up. Chardon's Pearl in the centre. Coming after it, though, on the outside here. Late runs from Brooke Brad Carolina. Chardon's Pearl wins. Brooke Brad Carolina is second. I think Millwood Roxy way on the outside third from Mozart Lace right against the inside. And not far off them, Cinders and Ashes, and they were followed through then as they've crossed. The next to go by would have been Roxanne. And ahead of that then was Real Tricky, and followed through then by Mia's Dream.